Yeah, my partner and I, we stayed during Ike. We thought about it, and I questioned him, and he was like, "Okay, babe, we got food and everything. We got supplies. We'll go ahead and stay." Didn't know that it was going to be bad, than what it actually was. Ike was scheduled to make landfall at about 1 a.m. When we started experiencing the wind early, early that afternoon. And it scared me because I went to the corner store and everybody was getting their last minute things and evacuating. And I went to this corner store to get cigarettes and stuff. And I can hear in the gutters, the street gutters, gurgling sound. I never heard it. Never heard it. I've been here all my life. I never heard that. And later I found out that that was the storm surge. The water was rising way before I could even hit here. We lived upstairs, so we didn't. Our landlord lived downstairs. All of her stuff got destroyed. I remember during the part of when the eye of Ike had came. It was like 15 minutes, just quiet, still. We're able to look in the sky. We seen the moon, and then I looked down over our balcony, our porch. The water was right there, 12, 13 feet high. And I was like, and then I knew that Galveston was done. I mean, as far as it being destroyed and stuff, it's scary. I never, ever experienced it. The second half of the storm, like I was saying, the second half of the storm, uh, the winds were stronger, and everything. The house started shaking then. I didn't notice the house shaking until the second half of the storm, which was really bad. Yeah, I haven't been to this place since Ike hit. It brings back a lot of memories, like I said earlier, it's kind of like an eerie feeling. It stood Hurricane Carla. So Hurricane Carla, Hurricane Alicia, and all the other hurricanes after that. She's still standing. It was very scary. We actually, like I said, the winds and the rain picked up at around 7:30, and we were just sitting on the porch. The sun was shining, and we were just sitting on the porch long enough until it was unbearable to sit there. The door had a blind over it, like these blinds down here, and when I opened it, the wind just took it and pulled it off the hinges. And so we jumped up. We were afraid, so we jumped up and we went inside. As the night went on, like I said, the window broke, which caused the wind to rush through the house. And so I took a piece of cardboard and put it against the window, and then I took my bed and my headboard of the bed and slide it up against the window. So that kind of like broke the wind, but it was still seeping in. But it wasn't as bad. Before the storm, my view of climate change, I didn't really have a big view about it. I've heard about it. You would hear about it on the news and stuff. And I go, oh, well, that's not gonna be in my time. I'll be dead and gone by the time, stuff start to act up, you know what I'm saying? So I really didn't have a view on it, When Ike hit, it really opened my eyes, because it wasn't the wind that destroyed the island. It was the water that destroyed the island. And the water, for some reason, the water that was the highest water we've ever had here. So I was thinking to myself then, that's a part of climate change,
Like you said, climate change, when I was younger, I didn't really pay attention to climate change. But after the hurricane, I was kind of like, this could happen at any moment. We have to take care of this country. I said this country. Forget this country. We need to take care of this world, because clearly, with the crazy thing that's been happening recently, all these hurricanes, earthquakes, everything. We need to take better care of our earth,
You're not looking at climate change like I look at it now. Yeah. I didn't look at it then when I was your age like I look at it now. You pay more attention to a lot of things, I guess once you get older. Yeah.
My name is Jonathan Henry. I'm 14 years old. I'm from Galveston, Texas. I attend Ball High School. I'm a freshman. I just love my family, and I just love being around people. Galveston, it is wonderful. It's crazy at times, but it's just wonderful. I love being around Galveston. I love Galvestonians. The people in Galveston are wonderful. It's all here in Galveston. The community comes together. Like during Hurricane Ike, we all came together. That was a devastating time for me because when I came back and found out that my house had burned down to the ground, that made me really sad because I had all my photos, my toys, my videos, everything that I had was inside the house and it burned down to the ground. I just was happy to be there alive still.
I'm Leon Phillips II, born and raised in Galveston, Texas in 1948. Retired from American Airlines as a skycap. Have a janitorial service that I've had for the last 33 years that I still operate. The year before Ike, there was another storm called Rita. It was supposed to hit Galveston Island. They called for an evacuation of the island. They began to call for evacuation of the mainland, Lamarck, Texas City, Hitchcock. The news probably for 2 days was how traffic was backed up on the freeways. My wife and I went to her mother's in Houston. Her mother and her sister and a niece and a nephew, we all piled into cars and we went all the way to Temple, Texas, running from Rita. Rita didn't hit Galveston. This gave people the idea that I ain't running from no storm. So when Ike came along, a lot of people said, I ain't going nowhere. And they did the same evacuation thing. Well, my wife and I decided, okay, we'll go to Houston. We'll go to her mother's. And we did. And during Ike, a little bit after the main part of the storm had hit and was on the news, I called my neighbor that lives behind me because he had said he wasn't going anywhere. So I called Lionel and my cell phone worked and his phone worked. So I said, well, Lionel, look out your back door, man. Tell me what's going on. He said, man, it's water everywhere. So he went to his back door and he looked out and he said, the hood of your truck is underwater. I said, what? So I knew it was bad. They didn't allow us to come back for 2 weeks. But by me being involved with St. Vincent's and I had a contract with the Galveston Historical Foundation, they allowed me access to the island. It was bad. You know, I mean, there were boats on the road, you know, I mean, when I say that, I say it jokingly, but when you start looking at a 25 or 40 foot sailboat and it's sitting in the middle of Broadway, you know, jet skis sitting in the road, you know, you're having to maneuver around them because they haven't opened the island up so that the equipment can come in to get them off of the island yet. When you start thinking about sea levels, I think of it this way. Like I said, in 1967, you probably had 2.5, maybe 2 blocks of sand before you would get to the Gulf of Mexico. There was enough where cars could park head to head and traffic could go up and down on each side, and you still would have half a block before you would get to the water. Now, I would say a half a block out and you're in the water. So subsidence has eaten up Galveston Island in that almost 60 years that I've been gone. We're an island. There is nothing we can do about what's happening with water. It's like you fill a glass to the brim with water, and you take 1 millimeter pearl and drop it in it. The water spills over, and that's a very small pearl. Galveston's the same way. The more the Arctic melts, the more water we're going to have to fight off.